What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Fantasy Tap. My name is Michael, and this is John, and we have a great show for you today. We've got our Week 6 must-starts and must-sits of the week. Very excited for this.
I love to see it. Make sure you guys are getting these players in your lineups. And before we jump into that, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, and then hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything else. We do have a handful more videos coming out before game time on Sunday, as well as our Sunday live stream. So don't miss any of it. And make sure, again, these guys, start them, sit them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So anyways, John, get into your first quarterback, your only quarterback. Who is your quarterback start of the week?
I'm going to be starting Taylor Heinecke. I'm going to be riding the chalk here. I'm going to take him up against the Kansas City Chiefs in week 6. The Chiefs have been allowing the most points to the quarterback so far this season, and they've been allowing everybody to play against them very, very well. The weakest point of the Kansas City defense, the weakest point of Kansas City is that defense, and Heineke has shown his ability to score multiple touchdowns in a game, as well as having Terry McLaurin have a chance to pop off this week. So I'm going to take Taylor Heineke as a top 10 quarterback.
I like it. I am going Matt Stafford. Love him going up against the Giants. They have allowed the 8th most points to the quarterback so far this year, average. He hasn't been doing too hot, or not too hot. He's been a consistent high-end quarterback too. But I think this is a week where they can get or pass the ball a ton, especially on this weak Giants defense. Their offense doesn't have Saquon Barkley as far as the Giants offense. So I think that they're going to be passing a ton and giving the ball back to the LA. So I think Matt Stafford's going to be a very, very good play this week. Love him against the Giants.
All righty. My running back of the week is going to be Javonte Williams. Obviously, I'm going to be taking him on the news that Melvin Gordon had the potential to be missing this week, but is back at practice as of Thursday in a limited fashion. I still think Javonte Williams is going to be an absolute stud this week going against the Oakland Raiders. Javonte has been taking over more and more of a share of that backfield, and I think with Melvin Gordon actually being banged up on the season, it gives him a great opportunity to fully take that role over. And again, the Raiders have been allowing 30 fantasy points to the running backs over the last 2 weeks, giving them a top 8 target to play against, putting up 283 yards against them and allowing 2 touchdowns. I think it's a great opportunity for Javonte to get some pass catching work in there, as well as getting an opportunity for a touchdown this week.
I like it. I do like Javonte Williams this week. I love him a lot, actually. I'm kind of upset you stole him. My running back start of the week is going to be James Robinson. He is currently running back 8, I believe, but he's going up against a very weak Miami Dolphins run defense. He's currently quarterback 10. I apologize. Half PPR. Had a very solid 3 stretch of games. He's getting the ball finally. I mean, we've talked about it. He's getting the ball. Urban Meyer is handing the ball off. The Miami Dolphins are also allowing 4.5 yards per carry to the running back, which is horrific. So not very good. So I like James Robinson this week going up against that putrid run defense that Miami has over there in London, eh?
For my receiver, I'm going to be taking Deontay Johnson going up against the Seattle Seahawks this week, especially on the news of Juju Smith-Schuster not going to be able to participate, giving Deontay that clear number 1 role and only the scraps going to Chase Claypool. Now, Seattle's defense has been absolutely disgustingly bad this season when it comes to covering the receivers in fantasy football. Season long, they've been allowing 43.5 points, but over the last 2 weeks, they've been allowing 50 points to opponent receivers, and it's pretty freaking terrible. The only team that's worse than that is the Miami Dolphins right now, but they have allowed 546 yards. I think this means that we're going to see Deontay Johnson get that 12, 13 target game, probably 9 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown. It's just a great opportunity for him, especially against Seattle.
Another one I like a lot. And you'll like this, John. My wide receiver start of the week is going to be Brandon Cooks going up against the Indianapolis Colts. You good over there, John? Have a coffee, sir. He had his lowest target total last week in a game going up against New England, who's got a pretty solid secondary with J.C. Jackson. He's going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who are not very good fantasy-wise against the wide receiver. They're allowing an average of 41.14 points to opposing wide receivers in total. So weekly. So I like Brandon Cooks to get his targets back, getting that close to or in that double-digit target range. I know Nico Collins is coming back off IR, but I don't think he's going to have an impact immediately this week. So I'm not too worried about that. I think we see Brandon Cooks have another solid week. Might be a good week for him, and then you could potentially trade him away. I don't know. It's just an idea. But I like Brandon Cooks this week a lot.
Okay. I like Brandon Cooks. I'm worried about him this week, though. But, hey, you've called him before. Let's go into tight ends. I'm going to be saying play Noah Fant. Must start him against the Raiders this week. I've got a handful of plays in this game, it seems like. But the Las Vegas Raiders have been, over the past 2 weeks, the top 6 fantasy team, or the team to play your tight end against, allowing 22.5 to the opposing team's tight ends. Noah Fant has been very, very consistent, is absolutely studly, and without Jerry Jeudy still there, it gives him an opportunity to soak up a lot of targets. So expect Noah Fant to continue dominating and being a high-end tight end.
Beautiful, beautiful. My tight end start of the week is going to be Mike Gesicki, another guy over in London. So he's going up against Jacksonville Jaguars, who are in the bottom third against the tight end as far as fantasy goes. I know a lot of people are worried, like, oh no, Tua's coming back. He didn't play well when Tua, or he didn't score points when Tua, was the quarterback. But listen to this. He only ran 18 routes that game in week 1, 39% of the snaps. In weeks 2 through 4, he averaged 34 routes run per game. So almost double his week 1 total. And week 5 hasn't come out yet, by the way. So I'm not worried about it. Plus, Devontae Parker is banged up. He did make the trip over to London. However, from what I'm reading, he is going to be evaluated, and they'll let us know whether he starts or not. Even if he starts, I'm not too worried about it. I think they're going to use Mike Gesicki a lot more in this offense, as they should. But if Devontae Parker's out, it could be a big, big, big day for him. It's going to be a big day either way. But it's either going to be a big day or a big, big, big day.
All right. So let's jump into our sits of the week. And I'm going to start it off telling you guys you should be sitting someone who could have won MVP if the week ended on week 2, Derrick Carr. Going up against the Broncos this week, I do not expect Derrick Carr to put up any sort of fashionable, exciting fantasy football week. As of right now, he is ranked as the top 8 quarterback in the league, but the Denver Broncos have allowed only 11.2 points to their fantasy quarterback over the past 4 weeks. And if anything, you're not expecting Derrick Carr to be the type of quarterback that can just turn that around on a dime. I don't think we're going to see Derrick Carr throw for 300 and 350. I think we're finally going to see him fall out of those top 5 passing yard leaders on the season and just not be a very good fantasy player. So make sure you guys aren't throwing him in there or taking that streaming option, expecting a lot from him.
All right. I've got another guy who has not been performing, or he's only had 1 week. One quarterback 1 week this year. He had some expectations going on coming into the season because he's had 2 solid years, and that's going to be Ryan Tannehill. Like I said, only 1 top 12 finish. He's going up against the Buffalo Bills, who have averaged 10.8 points to the quarterback position per game. That's ridiculous. I know he's getting Julio and AJ Brown back, but I don't think this is the week that they're going to do anything. I think what the Tennessee offense is going to have to do is what they need to do every week, and that's run the ball, especially against a good team like this. They want to keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. So Ryan Tannehill, I am not starting him.
Okay, a little burned. Running back sit of the week. I really, really am enjoying this Oakland and Denver game. I'm sitting Josh Jacobs up against Denver this week. Over the entirety of the season, the Broncos have only been allowing 344 rushing yards to the running backs. Over the past 2 weeks, they've been only allowing teams to score 19.5 points. That's terrible. You're not going to be getting a lot of production out of that. Their defensive line is stout. Their linebacking core is great, and their secondary is somewhat pretty decent. I expect the Broncos defense to make it a very tough day for everyone in Oakland, everyone in Las Vegas, outside of possibly Darren Waller. Do not take the shot on Josh Jacobs unless you have no other options and need to throw him in as a weak running back too.
Yeah, I think it's could be a rough day for him. But my sit of the week is going to be Chase Edmonds. He is dealing with the shoulder injury right now. Or I'm sorry. Yes, Chase Edmonds. Sorry. He is dealing with a shoulder injury right now. Going up against that Cleveland defense too. It's going to be a rough day for him. They are top 5 against the run, as far as running back, as far as fantasy points go. So do not start Chase Edmonds.
No, not at all. No capacity.
No capacity.
That's fair. I agree. All right. Sticking in the same boot, same game.
Boot.
Yeah. I'm going to say don't start Cortland Sutton this week. I think we're going to start seeing a downturn from him. He did just come off of a beautiful 2-touchdown game, but if you watch the game in itself, you saw the Broncos were playing from behind at a high pace up until the end. Very last seconds when they had that turnover. Don't expect Cortland Sutton to produce the same. He's had flashes this season, but he's not the same guy we were getting in 2019, especially with the quarterback issues that we're having. But going up against the Raiders, who are currently ranked fourth worst to be playing a receiver against. So I'm not going to be taking the shot on him, and I'm going to be moving on.
There you go. I like it. My wide receiver sit of the week is going to be Julio Jones, coming off the hamstring injury. It's going to be his first game back. He's only had one even usable game this year, and that was the one game he against Seattle, who we know is not good against the really on defense in general. So do not start Julio Jones going up against that Buffalo Bills defense. I think it's gonna be a tough day for Tennessee all around, except for Derrick Henry. So yeah, don't start Julio Jones.
Do not start Julio Jones. No. It's glad we're not like 5 years ago, because people would be cutting our throats for that.
Yeah.
Let's jump into my tight end sit of the week. I'm going to be saying to sit your boy Robert Tunyan. The man's going up against the Bears this week and is already showing as questionable. Was limited throughout practice. And after how minimal he's being used so far this season, he's definitely not someone you're going to want to be taking huge shots on. So far, last week was only getting 1 target. Has gotten 8 targets up against Pittsburgh in week 4, but not getting the quality targets, yards, or especially for him, those touchdowns. In the past and throughout the entirety of the season, he's only had 5 red zone targets, and only 1 of them has come within the 10-yard line. That means Robert Tunyan is not getting the touchdowns that make him possible to produce fantasy points. Do not play him. Absolutely cut him.
Cut him. I just cut him yesterday.
So.
All right. Finally, David Njoku. He's coming off of a great game. Tight end 2 on the week, I believe. Yes, tight end 2. And he's already tight end 13 on the year, with only 2 decent weeks. One very good week and 1 decent week. He's going up against the Arizona Cardinals defense. It's going to be windy in Cleveland. So I think it could be a Nick Chubb Kareem Hunt game there. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, wow, he just put up 25 points. I'm going to use him. Don't use him. Don't use him. They've got how many tight ends there? Too many. So do not use David Njoku. Sit him this week.
Got a wrap.
Yeah. So also want to give you an extra one because I accidentally wrote down 2 running backs. Joe Mixon. Don't play him either. Yeah. So
Short and sweet.
yeah. I mean, he's going up. He's banged up, first of all, going up against Detroit, who's been pretty solid, or pretty decent at least as far as defense goes. So I'm not starting Joe Mixon this week.
I don't think I would be either.
So,
unless you're on some extreme case.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're only 3 subscribers away from 50. We would love it if you would be our 48th, 49th, and 50th.
And 51st.
We like
50. Once we cross 50, we still are going to want you guys to subscribe. So we're going to want you guys all the way to like 10 million.
Yeah, 10 mil is the goal. So, yeah, by the end of the month. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Join that Discord link in the bio. We love you.